Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joyous Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachel Kuhn and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today we're using the brand new Humble Home stamp set as part of a bundle with the punch, but then I had to use a different greeting, so we're adding the wintry treetops for the thinking of you always. And let me show you this fun gatefold that we created using those two stamp sets from the new mini catalog. So we've created a cute little home here. We've had some designer series paper, some embossing, and it opens up to a nice piece of basic white, which we still have that amazing embossing folder right there as well. This one is super fun because this was part of a demo swap challenge I was a part of where we had to have a certain thing. So it needed to use embossing folder, a blending brush, it needed to have Bright's family, that's why we have the Coastal Cabana, and I think those are the main three things. Oh, and it had to be a thinking of you phrase. So that's why this is the fun combo. And also this was a fan favorite bundle that you guys wanted to see me stamp with for on Friday. So thank you for voting and saying this is the one you wanted to see the most. If you are watching this on YouTube, please leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. One lucky person will receive the card I'm making in the video today in the mail. So be sure once I say, hey, thank you for watching, and I give you my email address, send me your information and I can ship that out to you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to take too long on this one today. We have a very warm house here in California, so I need to put the air back on, but it's too loud for the video. So let's go ahead and go over some of these details here. All of the details for this will be over on my blog. So if I missed something, you can check it out there, but let me give you a rundown. So we'll have these pieces here, which I've already cut out and they're ready to go. This is our amazing designer series paper that has some wood textures to it. And then we have our crumb cake as our back of our mat. We have some basic white, which I went ahead and did some embossing with the exposed brick there. And then we have some Flirty Flamingo. And we have crumb cake, but I've die cut this one out from the Essential Shapes. And then our card base here, which is going to make the gatefold. Oh, that was part of the challenge. It had to be some of a gatefold here. All right, let me go ahead and grab what we need to stamp. We need to build our little home here. And we need to stamp on our cute little banner as well. So let me grab those pieces out for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our house first. But we are going to need to grab our crumb cake and our rooftop. Let's set this up here and our ink up here. It's photopolymer, so I do have some awesome foam underneath here to create some even stamping. And oh, here we go. I need to do a quick practice. So I always have a piece of just printer paper, or you can use your grid sheet and do a quick practice. Make sure there's no fur. I have a furry dog. That's looking good, a little uneven. Let me see if I have enough wet on here to wipe that down and do a redo. You see where it has these little marks that are missing, so I need to get that nice and even. Way better. Okay. This part's the tricky part because you have to know where to stamp and have it lined up with the punch. I should have made a kind of like a form. Maybe we'll do that right now. Let me show you. So here's my printer paper. I'm going to take it in and I'm going to go as far as I can on this punch and then punch down. So I know that I need to give myself about 1/2 inch of space. I can get down closer, but I need to make sure I have enough room for my roof. It's better to have too much space and then just trim down than not enough space and the house is coming down too far. So keep that in mind as you get ready to stamp these. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and ink up my rooftop. And we're gonna go just about here. I could use that piece I just went ahead and punched out, but we're just gonna eyeball it. And then crumb cake is still out, so let's go ahead and stamp our greeting, the thinking of You Always, which came from that Wintry Treetops. For this one, we do need to go ahead and make sure that we go to the far right on it. That looks good. It does not need the foam mat for this one. So I'm going to the far right of this banner because I want to cut off one end of it. Nice, thinking of you always. Now we may put that away, and that should be it for our crumb cake today. Then let's go ahead and grab our Coastal Cabana. This is a beautiful color. This is part of the Brights family. It has still that summer feel to it, which we're almost out of summer unless you are getting that final wave of heat, which California certainly have been having. All right, we'll get that back in view. We will need our piece of paper because we're gonna do some stamping off for this one. Let me show you how the full inked up looks. And I like it, but I definitely like it a little less. So I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to line it up so that my brick fits underneath my roof. Nice. And then this should be ready to punch out. But while we still have our ink out, let's go ahead and stamp an amazing door. And we're going to go like this, and I might need to grab, the door will be full strength. So this one, I'm just going to have it go right here on this guy. And I do need to get some water. This is dry. Pause that thought. Ooh, thank you for waiting. Okay, so I have to wipe this one off because I want my light looking like it's coming from my windows and not have the Daffodil Delight. So I went ahead and grabbed those two. Now I can go ahead and stamp on this piece. Okay. Then we're gonna get our punch out and do some punching, which is always fun. Oh, I'm off screen, sorry. Here's our Daffodil Delight. You'll have a bonus door, so you can decide which color you want, but we'll get those like right there. Perfect. Okay. That should be it for our stamping. So let's go ahead and put all of our inks away and get ready to do some punching out. And clear this guy. Here's our fun punch. For this one, we're going to fussy cut the door, but we do need to get these windows. So the trick to that is to slide it underneath. And you're going to start to hold it in spot in the place and then press firmly down. There's one cute window. Slide it over. So you want to first start with that closest window first, because after this, anything else we punch is going to get messed up by the other images on the punch. You see how these are going to be punched out too. So that's why we cannot save the door. If you're wanting to have the same color as the door and the windows, then you're going to have to stamp this twice. Okay, there's our windows. Now I believe I went too high on this, and I can kind of tell because of my practice sheet here where that looks like it's going to be too far up. So I'm going to do a quick trim. I'll show you what I mean though. So I stick this all the way in, and my house does not fit into my punch. So I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm just going to do a little trimming on the bottom here. I still want enough to give myself something to hold on to, so that's important to have a big enough piece of basic white, but we do need to be able to reach that house. Okay, lining it up, having a little bit of white outline on all the sides. Start to lightly press down. Oops, I wiggled too much. We'll do a light press. And pop. Nice. There's our cute house. Oh, I'm loving it. And then with our flirty flamingo, we just need to put a little piece of that into our heart and punch out our cute heart. Nice. Don't lose that door. Remember that piece of paper we had? Grab that guy and just fussy cut this door. I'm going to trim off the extra, and then so I can cut it down nicer. So I'm just going to go around our door here, and we'll put on our cute little home. Okay, nice. You can go close as you want to that or create some of that outline. It's up to you. Let's go ahead and build our house now that we're here. For the sake of ease, I like to just add a glue to the house. So I'll put my windows here and my door in the middle. And we have a heart on top. You can use your take a pick tool if you want to help you pick up those items and place them right where they need to be. Rip that one off a little bit. There we go. Turn it around. Looks good. Start with your door so that way you can kind of center your windows on them. And it's up to you if you want your windows to be high or low. I kind of like it a little bit above the door, even though when you stamp it, let's look at that stamp again. Let's take a quick look. So it's more like by the doorknob area on here. So I like my windows a little bit higher instead of straight across. So that looks great. And let's let that dry. Now I need to grab my paper trimmer in because we want to trim off this banner here. We want to have a straight edge and only have one end that's been flagged. So I'll put it in here. And I could totally use my paper snips, but do you know how I'm not very good at cutting straight? So that's why I love the paper trimmer, so it'll do it for me. Nice. Thinking of you is ready to go. All right, next we have our card base. Visit my blog for these measurements. And then what I did was I took my embossing folder. Let me grab that. And I did one side at a time. So here's our flat piece of paper. And I went ahead and I want to make sure that my brick were going horizontal this way. So I placed it in here, lined it up to my score lines, like so, and ran it through my Stampin' Cut emboss machine. And then I flipped it over and did the same thing to the other side and ran it through that way. And then for the bottom here, I wanted a little bit of that brick as well. And I used this nice line right here to give me a guide. So then I just had put that inside here and I said I only wanted to go that far up. And that was the way that I was able to kind of measure it on there. All right. However, part of the challenge for this demo swap was to use a blending brush. So I grabbed my blending brush and my Coastal Cabana, and we're just gonna ink up some of this brick here on both that basic white and on our card base. So I want it to be fairly dark, so I'm not even tapping off. I tried the tap off method earlier for this one and it just wasn't showing up enough. And I just want to pop up some of this exposed brick here. It's going to be fairly subtle, but it will make it look really, really cool. There we go, especially on those edges there. Flip it over, we'll do the other side. Along here, along the top. And you can have it all over or just pick spots even. You're like, well, this spot has a lot more of the brick, so I might want to just make the brick darker. Same up here, that's the brick area. Nice. And you darken those brick spots there. Like I said, it's very subtle, but it is pretty on there. Grab your basic white. We'll do the bottom to this guy. This one doesn't need as much ink, and I will do a little tap off because it's on the white. We'll just get a little bit more. There we go. Circular motions to help catch that. And look, you could totally see the difference to this one. Look how pretty that is now. Love that. Kind of ties it in from the inside to the outside. And I love this exposed brick because it's perfect for the little house made out of brick as well. All right, I think we're ready to start assembling and embellishing. Let's go ahead and grab our bone folder. We're gonna start the fold on our card base. Nice. And start the fold on this side. When you are embossing, I'd rather have too much embossed than not enough embossed on this front here. So if you have a little bit of the embossing goes over your score line, that's totally fine. All right, that's looking good. Closes nicely. Look how nicely matched that is. Let's grab our basic white for the inside. We'll glue that on, so I like to put liquid glue right there on our embossed part. And then I'll use my Stampin' Still Plus for the other parts of the basic white here. It's hard to use double-sided adhesive on paper that's been embossed, so that's why I like that liquid glue for that portion there. And then I like the double-sided adhesive because there's no dry time and it is clean. There's no liquid glue that you can see behind there, which is nice. Okay, let's grab our mat, our crumb cake. Let's glue that on with our liquid glue. And then we're going to get some dimensionals out to help us with our next steps. Looking good. Our house has been glued together, so this is the easy one. We can just grab our dimensionals, which of course have legs, and so they're always not where I think they should be. There we go, underneath everything. Flip this one over. We want at least one on each bottom. So I'll stick that one there, bottom, bottom, and top. Or if you want, totally up to you. And we're going to attach this to the bottom of our DSP here. So I'm going to eyeball it, make sure it looks like it's about even. That looks pretty good. Then we can go ahead and do our linen thread next. So here's our linen thread. I'm going to start it on the back side. I'm going to give myself about 4 to 5 inches on the side because I want some room to tie a bow. I'm going to come above our house here and wrap it twice, giving myself some of that space again. Use my paper snips, and I can always move it a little bit more after I wrapped it, so don't feel like you have to have it just in place. Okay, just tying a nice floppy bow. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I like it when it's a little bit more crazy for this type of card here, creating a fun look here. Okay, now let's go ahead and flip over our cute little thinking of you and put some dimensionals. We're going to have a little bit coming off the edge here, so if you only want to put 2 dimensionals on there, you totally can. And then we're going to line this up so it has that TH is not on the paper, and the rest will be cute. Look how cute that's already looking. Now we need to attach it to our fun fold here. We want to use dimensionals on the back, and we're going to, this is going to be on this side. So I want to keep my thumb here. No, this is the side I'm putting dimensionals on. I'm going to put one on the top. I'm going to go ahead and cover up that linen thread with one to keep it nice and in place, not sliding around. Remove my backings of each. And then go ahead and place it on our gatefold here. Okay. Like it has an equals on all sides, and there you go. Super cute and easy fun fold, using that gate fun fold as our theme for it. But look at how cute that turned out. A perfect little beach home, a little summer house. Loving all of the details on this card. I hope you guys have had a fun time learning how to make this gate fun fold and using these extra bonus challenges with using my brights, my blending brush, and embossing folder. So have a great day and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.